Good afternoon and good evening to everyone. I know that you're from different parts of the world, and thank you for joining us. Thank you, Beth, for the beautiful words, and especially for the incredible work that Be Original has been doing over the years, and they continue to do in supporting the design community and in fulfilling their mission. My name is Riccardo. I'm the Director of Americas, as mentioned by Beth. I'm based here in New York, where we have a showroom where you see the background, which is also home to our American headquarters. Connected from Italy is Daniela Fantini, the CEO and the President of Fantini. And today we have some very special content that we created for you, especially for you. We will be unlocking a little bit of the secrets of Fantini and kind of like dive into who we are, what we do, the process, and the spirit, very much at the core of like those very pillars of our company. And from what you've seen from the initial video and the picture, the image we see on the screen now, we have taken you to a small little lake nestled among the Alps in the northwest part of Italy in Piedmont. So this is home to Fantini, and has been home to Fantini for over 70 years. And we will give you some perspective of the really intimately our company, how we function, and just as a reminder, because I don't know how much of you know about Fantini, we make faucets. We're a very true specialist. Italy is very well known for its leading position in the fields of design, and many companies over the years have specialized, and Fantini is a true specialist of this product category, and the work we've done has been supported with like so much passion and hard work over the years, and today we're proud to be celebrated around the world for one of those companies that really have done an incredible work in paying attention to the details, and with collaboration with designers, and really focus on this product category and try to do this work at its best. And just as a reminder, towards the end of the session, we will have about 15 minutes of questions. We're happy to answer all we can in that time frame, but we will remain available for you if you want to get in touch and learn more about our company. I will now pass to Daniela, who is our CEO. She's also as we always acknowledge, all of us at the company, the heart of Fantini. She fulfills the role of the art director, and she's also the daughter of the founder, and her passion and her energy has been contagious to all of us at the company. And connected from Italy, I give you Daniela Fantini.
Good morning, everybody. I'm really happy to stay with you this morning. And it's a big pleasure, thanks to Be Original, to invite in a virtual manner to enter in the Fantini world. So I'm Daniela Fantini, and I live here in this small village on the shore of the lake. And as you can see from the picture, we can go avanti. We live and we work in a beautiful place. We are on the shore of the Lake of Orta, and the landscape is wonderful. A small lake with a small island in the middle. The water of the lake is super clean. It's possible to swim, and Riccardo, who is a super swimmer, in summertime, he across every day the lake in 20 minutes. So it's a very nice place, and we love this place where we were born, where we have our roots and our family. And we consider this lake like a real genius loci, and we think that we take inspiration from this landscape for our production, for our philosophy, for the strategy of the company. And for this reason, we are convinced that we have to put a lot of engagement in maintaining the balance of this very, very important place where we will live.
Un po' le cose si formano cammin facendo e vivendole. Io mi ricordo quel preciso istante in cui mi trovavo sull'isola di San Giulio ad aspettare la barca che mi riportasse a Pella. La barca tardava e io, guardando questa sponda del lago, ecco, ricordo benissimo il pensiero che ho fatto. Il pensiero è stato: certo che noi abbiamo una bella responsabilità, vivere qui ed avere un'azienda sulle sponde di questo lago. L'acqua è il nostro fil rouge. Per me personalmente è una presenza irrinunciabile. È il legame col nostro prodotto, quindi un'acqua da rispettare, è un'acqua da portare anche un po' idealmente, simbolicamente alle famiglie attraverso degli oggetti che rispettino l'ambiente, quindi oggetti che possano portare l'acqua più pulita possibile. Sicuramente le forme dei nostri prodotti sono forme d'acqua, sono forme che richiamano questo aspetto di questo elemento pulito, fluido, sano, utile, fondamentale. Questa nostra generazione deve assolutamente lavorare sul rendere più belli i propri strumenti di lavoro, la propria fabbrica. Lissoni ha interpretato lo spirito del luogo, lui ha ripulito di quello che era stato anche nello stabilimento messo nel corso degli anni, perché a lui era molto piaciuta questa architettura già presente. A me piace che lui abbia davvero in questi due progetti rispettato il luogo. Se tu vai in barca sul lago e guardi questi due progetti, quasi non li scorgi, si identificano benissimo nell'ambiente. Arrivi a CasaFantini, soggiorni lì, prendi la nostra barca, arrivi in azienda e approcci l'azienda dal lago. Fare dei progetti che rispettino e che siano un tutt'uno con questo ambiente ci sembrava il tramite migliore per farci conoscere. Per capire in pieno la nostra azienda devi venire qui, devi sentire un po' questa atmosfera. L'idea di avere degli spazi belli ma anche più confortevoli, creare degli incontri qui per i nostri dipendenti, parlare di design, parlare di storia del design, di architettura, è un po' un sogno. E mi piace molto pensare, osservare che quest'acqua è presente nel nostro ambiente, negli nostri spazi, è un'acqua che percorre con queste trasparenze, con questi riflessi, diventa un tutt'uno con l'ambiente che noi abbiamo ridisegnato.
Now we would like to speak a little bit about our history, because Fantini has a wonderful story which started in 1946, so a lot of times ago. A story of two brothers, Giovanni, my father, who is in the picture, and Fino, my uncle, and two brothers. Both had a great passion for innovation, experimentation, and they wanted really to take some risk. They wanted to produce the more innovative products, sometimes doing more difficult things that perhaps the other competitor never wanted to do. And now in the picture, you can see my father, Giovanni, my uncle, Fino, and a couple of young artists. In the picture, they are not so young, but when they met my father and my uncle, they were really, really, really young. And this is a very like meeting because thanks to this collaboration, we produced the most iconic product for Fantini, I balocchi. And we will speak about I balocchi later. This you can see in the picture. The picture was is made exactly in the time when they meeting my father and when they met my father and my uncle. And it was so particular, this project, because you can imagine that I balocchi was the first colored product in the world, the first product colored faucet in the world. This is the original drawings. So I remember that they met by chance, my father, and they had not the courage to present this very, very strange product for the moment. You can think that at this moment in the 77, the world of the faucet was really, really homogeneous. Every product was chrome, the same shape. And in this case, they presented to my father a very, very innovative, very, very new product. And it was a very, very good marriage because they started to work together to experiment the color, to experiment, because it was also ecological, this to paint the faucet instead that to chrome the faucet. It was also ecological. So it was a very, very interesting moment, the moment of I balocchi. And it was a funny moment. It was exactly the moment when I entered in the company at the end of the 70s year, so 1980, 1982. For example, in the picture, you can go avanti, please. There is a picture, there was a picture with the booth at the fair. And also this was funny. It was the toys war, because the name I balocchi in Italian means toys. And for example, the booth at the fair was the world of the toys, il paese dei balocchi. And everything was very, very funny in this moment. And today again, I balocchi is our most iconic product. Is the product of the memory of our history. When I consider I balocchi, I think to my father and my uncle. And I balocchi contributed also to a very, very interesting project in Africa, because we built 100 fountains, and we built an aqueduct giving water to 30,000 people in Burundi, one of the poorest country in the world. And thanks to the sales of I balocchi, we had other 30 fountains. So also for this reason, we love this product. This is another very interesting project of Fantini, Calibro. Calibro is today again in the permanent collection of the MoMA in New York. And it was designed by the same couple of architects. And the size of the Calibro was very, very big, and it was also original because there was the black and the color, so it's an evolution of the color of I balocchi, and it was another very, very original product in the history of Fantini. Go avanti. And Fantini works with a lot of designer. Some designer is very new, like Enzo Mari, like Matteo Thun, Rodolfo Dordoni, King Miranda, Piero Lissoni, and it's very important for us because the designer, Anastasiades, for example, the designer, when they are smart, they are able to understand the dreams of the final consumer. And when we met the right designer and we work together, usually we produce successful products. So a particularity of Fantini is that when we met a designer, also if the designer is very important, in the international designer, we work together. And I think that in our catalog there is a fil rouge, because every product has the personality of the designer, but we put also the personality of the company. This is our manner to work with the international designer. We can go avanti. This, it was a very, very important moment because we met this Korean designer. Unfortunately, today he passed away, and the name was Pek Kim. It was very, very important because he joined Fantini because he wanted to have a production for an hotel in Seoul. We worked together, and I gave him the idea, the inspiration, in designing a turning spout. So this is really, really particular because this spout is not a fixed normal spout. You can close. Please, we go avanti. It was a painter also, so he produced these beautiful catalogs for Fantini. But when he presented the product, the spout was fixed. And after I told, maybe this is dangerous. And you can see, because I made this movie in Seoul, he produced it like an origami. And he told me, this is a good idea. We can produce a faucet with the spout and with the possibility to close the spout. And because I'm not really good in technique, I told, yes, why not? It's possible. We can do this. And after, when I went to our technical department, they told me, are you crazy? But we produced this. And this is a very innovative. And I love this, this manner to work, because it's possible to continue to have an interactive activity with the designer. And now is the presentation in our showroom in Milano. I wanted to tell you something about our logo. You can see there is the horse. The horse is because Fantini means in Italian jockey. So this is the official reason. But there is also another reason who comes from the history, from the heart. Because my father, Giovanni, was a real passionate about motors. He wanted to be a driver by cars, a driver of Formula 1. And in his heart, there was the Ferrari. It was not possible for my father to become a driver, because when he was ready to do this, the World War II arrived, and he was sent to Greece, and after imprisoned, and he went to a concentration camp in Germany. So when he came back, there was not a possibility to become a driver, but he became a very good technician in motors. And after, in 1946, he created with his brother the small company, but in the heart there was also the motors and the Ferrari. So there is two reasons for this logo for this horse. I think that now, Riccardo, you can continue. Maybe you can speak about products on other.
Yeah, of course. Well, we should probably also mention, Daniela, that the horse, the red horse facing the right, has been patented and registered, and you know, we have all the
legal
rights
legal.
Use it in our category. Anyway, we wanted to give you a little dive into the spaces where our products are being showcased. Now, myself, I'm here in the showroom in New York. Daniela is in our headquarters showroom by the lake, and the picture that you see here on the screen are of our Milan showroom, which have been designed by Milan-based architect and designer Piero Lissoni. So the showrooms are an excellent place, not only to really just see the products, but also to get a sense of the aesthetic, the identity, the personality. Is just another way for our company to communicate who we are through an aesthetic that is not necessarily the product itself, but it's more architectural. This is a picture of the New York showroom that has more of a minimal look. We were supposed to do a renovation just right now. We were probably supposed to be sitting in the new showroom by now, but unfortunately, because of COVID and the pause on the whole world, that had to be postponed. But in the future, that same look, as you have seen in the Milan showroom, will be translated to the New York one as well. So the spaces are an opportunity to learn more about our company, but obviously these spaces are not enough for us to sort of like get our products traction. So for this reason, we have several partners in all the different regions where we have a presence. So like the pictures here that you see are from dealers, and some of the one I'm showing you here, this is thank you. It's in Vancouver. This is a Cantu, that the name originates from Italy, but it's a bathroom specialist. They really focus on kitchen and bathroom and some hardware. And as you see, the picture on the right is a typical display where, you know, the products are being showcased, and the space like this is being visited by end users, architects, in some cases builders, when there may be they build spec homes. And so it's a resource for products in our category. This is another one in Los Angeles, the Snyder Diamond. Again, is a kitchen and bathroom specialist. Very often, as you see in this picture, there is vignettes. Like, it's not only showcasing the products on the panels, but also they call them vignettes, which is basically sometimes they call them suites, where you basically get a sense of like how the product actually looks in real life. So it is important to showcase the products in both ways. The ways with the panels, where you can sort of like give a more comprehensive showcasing the whole range, more products, and then also just show them like in a contest. And then in some instances, like this showroom in Miami, we have the chance to really get a whole section for our brand, and like you really get a little bit on a smaller case compared to our showroom, a dive into that Fantini look. So this space was designed by Piero Lissoni for our company, but in collaboration, in partnership with our partner dealer in Miami. It is interesting also to mention, and I bring this example of a dealer in Montreal. They're like a specialist of ceramics, so sanitary ware and ceramics. So it's interesting for a company like ours is to also leverage the opportunities on the market to give exposure to different segments, because the ones I showed you before are more like bathroom specialists. So those who are doing a kitchen or bathroom remodel. In this case, obviously, those who visit this showroom are definitely probably going for the renovation of a home, and could very well be the bathroom, but they're like very specialist of like ceramics, like tiling. And it's good for us to be associated with this world. And at the same time, it's good for us to be associated with this world I'm showing you now. This is a dealer of ours, is a partner dealer in San Francisco, and they're more into world of furniture. So the world of furniture and ceramics and the bathroom specialists are like very different, but like they're all equally important to us to be able to reach a different audience. Sometimes it's also more for a branding exercise, and it's important to understand this, because you know, people that maybe visit this showroom are not necessarily going there to remodel the bathroom, but for us to have a presence there, because maybe not remodeling the bathroom because maybe they're just going there to buy a lamp or like furniture, maybe they're just there to, you know, buy objects, and it's a very different world and audience than the one of a traditional bathroom specialist. But this is a good branding opportunity and exposure, because those same designers and architects at one point will need to be maybe consider specifying our products. And so the distribution is just not one linear answer to the market. And then and here, for example, we just brought you the example of North America, but in some countries we have importers, because maybe in the specific country the importer has a very unique position built over the years, and like in Australia we have an importer, and then they resell to other distributors. So we can also, you know, clarify more on that if you have any questions or you want to get in touch with us directly. But I wanted also to emphasize a little bit the value chain, because we have this incredible work that has been done at the you know, at the corporate headquarters, our direction level, where we create these products and in collaboration with designers, and there is so much work and passion to be done. But then, you know, that is how the products originate. But then what happens between Fantini deciding that that's the right direction for the brand to be consistent with our identity, and like that after considering that there is also viability on the market, what happens between there, the product is available, and finding a home to these products in someone's home or hotel or development? Well, there is a very specific value chain that can be discussed as value chain. The reason of value chain is because everybody adds a piece of value. Like, it would not be possible to get the products installed and be provided if we didn't have an importer, a dealer, where people can end users or specifiers can see the products. We have a contractor. There could be a general contractor, there could be a mechanical contractor, and for those who are not familiar, a mechanical contractor is a plumber. And you know, you have all these players in between, and a brand needs to take into consideration that these are all players that have needs, need a certain degree of support that needs to be addressed. The dealer needs to support with the displays, make sure like we support them like with the product training for the team. A general contractor wants more of a technical assistance. An end user also requires a certain degree of assistance and being knowledgeable and down the road. So it's important for a company, when we think of the products, when we create the products, to keep in mind all of that, and let alone the fact that there is different parts of the world. Like, you know, in Australia, we want a specific type of alloy for brass is needed. In America also has to be lead free. We have code approvals, like some code approvals are necessary in certain parts of Northern Europe for the sound. We need to develop the parts that go in the wall in a way that like there is a limiting the sound of the water flowing through the valves. Some other code approvals require us to show certain performance from resistance, durability through live tests. And then we have a certified laboratory, and we also work in partnership with others. But so there is a lot of aspects that goes into the operations that are very important to make our products available on the market. Where do they go? Our products go in a variety of have a variety of applications. This, for example, is an hotel. The first portion of the building is hotel, and the upper portion is residential. This is a Baccarat hotel and residence in New York. Baccarat is a very well-known crystal producer, manufacturer, and design brand based in France. And this was a tower was made recently here in New York. This is another example of a development. It's a boutique condominium in Park City, Utah, ski resort, and high-end in a mountain resort. So this is not your typical large residential tower in a major metropolitan area, but it still, require that level of refinement and aesthetic and luxury for an upscale resort. We have private homes that ranges from city apartments or countryside estates. This is a particularly special project is by architect David Jameson, a very well-known architect in North America, and this is a house in Bethesda outside of Washington, D.C. And different projects require a different approach. Also, when a company needs to fulfill maybe a large multi-units or hospitality project, very often there is also a request of customizations. They want maybe a special finish to be consistent with a specific mood and style. I do believe that, like, for you that are interested in really finding your way in the creative world, in the design field, whether in designing spaces or designing products, approach companies, approach developers, clients, it's important to really have an understanding of also the market. If you want to design a product for a company, for example, if you want to be a product designer, it is important to do your homework and understand, how is this company distributed? Has a presence globally? Is this company considering, are experiencing getting the code approvals for their products, because there's going to be a chance for traction globally? Is this company is going to do, is heavy on large projects or like a small scale, but high-end luxury residential project? Because all of these considerations affect maybe the way you are going to approach the conversation, the way you are going to process the elements and approach the company and propose ideas, and how you really really the structure of the collaboration. You need to really be very oriented and understand the market too, without obviously losing the passion for the creative process. And then after a little tour around the world, mostly in America in this case, we take you back to Lake Orta, and then we like to call it among all the projects we have been fortunate and honored to be part of, like, this is the one that really passionates us the most and close to our heart, which is the CasaFantini. And this is a very special personal project of Daniela, who will give you more details about how it came to life and what it means for our company, what it means for her, what it means for our territory. So I'll pass to Daniela, who will tell you more about CasaFantini.
Okay, thank you, Riccardo. CasaFantini, the name. In the name, there is the concept of this building, because casa in Italian means it's house. So we wanted to create a special house. And the second name is Lake Time. So we wanted to create a special place, a magic place, where it's possible to be invited by Fantini. For example, our customer, our architects regularly visit Fantini, and we want to invite them to have this experience on the lake. It's a place where it's possible to renovate himself, to take the time for yourself. Because Fantini Fantini is a social company. We want to stay with people. We love our customer and we want to share time together. Personally, I love to stay after a very hard day, to stay around the table with people, with friends, with customers, sharing good food, not really sophisticated food, but the typical food that you can eat in a casa in Italy. And so this building is exactly the possibility for Fantini to receive our friends, our customer, our architects, and also external guests, of course, for the month of August and July, and to share the experience of the lake with this special time, because there is a particular, si dice ritmo, Ricky, rhythm.
And then I would like to say that casa in the sense of really home, more than just the house.
Yes, home and not house. Home, absolutely. Yes, this is a big mistake. Home. And you can see, this is the small lounge. It is not, the concept is not typical for one hotel. It's typical for the home. So there is not the reception, the lounge. It's like the most important room in your home, and the view is on the lake. The designer, the architects is Piero Lissoni and Fantini. Has a long work with Piero Lissoni. It's 20 years that Piero Lissoni worked with us for catalogs, for stand, for advertising, and we gave to Piero Lissoni this project and the project of our headquarters, because we know that for Piero Lissoni it was possible to respect the landscape. So the interpretation of the spirit of the place is very well done in this case. And this is the view of one of the bathrooms. We have a very nice partnership with Boffi. Boffi is a very, very important Italian company producing kitchen and also producing a very important bathroom product, like the bath, and Fantini worked with Boffi because we produced together some line of faucet. The name is About Water of this brand. And so, sorry, this was the view on the bath, but we can continue avanti. There was the view, every room has the view on the lake, and in this case on the island. This is the small island of San Giulio. This is a small coffee shop. This is the small island of San Giulio, the small coffee shop. The name is Blue Lago, and it's open for external guests, because we wanted to enter in the village, because this is a very nice small hotel, 5-star. The category is 5-star, but we wanted to be connected with our people, with our village, and the Blue Lago Cafe is the point of connection, because every guest can enter. It's not only for the CasaFantini guests. And you can see this is a typical village in Italy, a lot of history, a lot of anche un po' case, come si dice Riccardo, sono un po'
run down, like a little bit shabby, but it's part of the charm.
Exactly. This is the small garden with the swimming pool, and the view is always on the island. And at the end, our headquarters. If I turn the PC, we are exactly, I don't know if you can see now, we are exactly in this place.
Yeah, precisely.
On the lake.
With the water warm enough to swim, because the time of this picture was winter. As you can see, there's
Vicky, yes, you have to come back because you have to swim now.
Right.
Unfortunately, after the lockdown, but this was terrible. But the water is super clean. We have 20, 30 ducks every day in our garden because the nature is renovated after the lockdown. So in this moment, the lake is beautiful, absolutely.
I see question, as the world changes to be more afraid of germs, how you think the world of faucets will change? Well, there is a very specific answer to this, because we have seen like a big spike in the request of sensor operated faucets. So now this is true, but more for commercial spaces, because nobody wants a sensor operated faucet at home. You could argue that like now during this pandemic, we've been a little bit paranoid. You know, when I get home, I think of like, what do I touch before going to the faucet? It's kind of like, I think we would love a sensor operated faucet nowadays, but it's just not practical. For like a home, you want to be able to regulate the temperature and the flow, and like, you know, usually a sensor operated allows for that setting, but only once. So, but we've seen that. And then I would say that in our case, to really try to be specific about this question, I think we need to be like a little bit more in the future proactive in like reducing the amount of like packaging, because especially on the large job sites, you know, you have the box for the valve, you have the box for the external part, the box for the handle and all the things. And I think that, you know, we live in a world where we don't have to not only be environmentally conscious, but we also have to reduce the things we touch and we move around. So I think that that's gonna maybe have an impact. And so, and then also the world of faucets, also our company, production wise, we have been affected a lot, and finding all the precaution. And then and if you take a company at large, you know, it's just, you know, doing business in a different way, like being, you know, connected through the technology, digital technology, and, you know, being more effective. And I have to say something very important as Italians, that we love to have engaged in, you know, very chatty, long conversation. We need to try to be more effective. And we're still working on that, because we're a very social creature, maybe even more than other cultures. Mediterranean Europe is just the nature of our personality. And so try to be more effective. And, you know, and I have to say that that is more us as a company at large, as a corporation. Then we have, do the designer you work with fly to Italy to work with you on site, or is it done remotely? Assume that the designers means the designers of, you know, our clients, the specifiers of whether it's residential or private home or like a high-end project. They do come to visit us very often. If there is a larger commercial project and the developer wants to do an audit and understand if we maybe have the capabilities of producing that, what is the underlying quality. Sometimes they want to go also see our suppliers. If it's a large project, those concerns are absolutely legit. So we're always happy to. Now we also have a hospitality division with CasaFantini, so it's wonderful to have like a full dive into our world. Very often also designers that design homes for their client, they come, usually they take opportunity of maybe the design week in Milan, and they say, okay, I'll go visit maybe a few key suppliers, and, you know, the faucets, maybe the furniture, and so we get that a lot. But also we're very, you know, if you put aside the second, a specific project that would require the designer to interact and learn more about that, we really like encourage this like constantly and continuously. And like the project CasaFantini was very much aimed at having them as our guest and visit us. So yes, we're absolutely, it's part of like our really, our formula of like Fantini and the way we like to stay in touch with the specifiers.
Riccardo, sorry to interrupt you. I just want to ask one of these questions directed to Daniela. Daniela, what would you say the design philosophy of Fantini is, and how do you go about developing concepts?
Riccardo, scusami, ha detto cosa rappresenta il design per Fantini?
Qual è la filosofia del design di Fantini? Cosa rappresenta
Il concetto di design.
la collaborazione con i designer, eccetera. Sì.
Sì, before I was trying to tell this. For Fantini, we consider the design in 360 degrees. First of all, we think that every product that you enter in your home has to be your friends. I consider that today, more than before, we put a lot of attention when we buy something. We think that every product has to add more value than before. And we have to respect this. And we spoke about design a lot in the past. I think that the true design is the design that maintains its force in the time. And I think that first of all, Fantini doesn't want to produce something with a trend, who follow a trend, who is similar to the fashion. We think always to the function, so the ergonomy, first of all. And we think that it's a product that will enter in a particular room. So the function, ergonomy, we want that the quality in the time will maintain the same characteristic. And also the price. Fantini thinks that sometimes our products cost a lot, but it's always, we put always big attention to this because we think that the real design has to be democratic and has to be for not everybody, because it's not possible everybody, but has to be for an important number of people. For example, when we produced I balocchi, my father was thinking to the young couple, and the young couple just married, for example, had not a lot of money. So the design also for me today is the good balance with quality, ergonomy, come si dice durata nel tempo?
Durability over time,
durability in the time, but also the price. Because Fantini is a company who loves to produce for young people. And also this is a particular target. So in United States, we sell also Venezia, for example, who is a very classical and with Murano glass handle, but generally speaking, we are a minimal contemporary, we have a minimal contemporary production.
That's great.
I don't know if it's enough, this answer, I don't know.
Absolutely, that was perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
How many people work in the headquarters in Italy, and what are the different departments?
In Italy, 110 people, but this number is our employees. But we have 20 people in the sales, more, and we work with a lot of people in the region. For example, Riccardo mi deve aiutare, tutto l'indotto.
Yeah, we live in an area where there is a district for metalworks. So if you count really the ones that are like very connected and sort of directly linked to the work with Fantini, we're probably around 200. And then, just to get like as many questions as we like the departments are like, we have R&D, so research and development is very important, is at the core of the work we do at Fantini. So we have another important department is prototyping, and where we also do the custom orders. And then we have the assembling and testing, quality control. So, but there is other stages of production that are outsourced, which is the casting foundry. The foundry is outsourced. The press forge process, which is very similar to the foundry, is a way to create the products. And then the chrome plating is outsourced, and the finishes, which is could be the coating and PVD. We have like many different finishes. So, but inside we have like a research and development, prototyping, testing and quality control, assembling, and then we have marketing and post-sale assistance and administrative. So these are the departments. We're 110 people.
Thank you.
That's great, thank you. So I think we're just about out of time, but I want to ask each of you one final question. And Riccardo, maybe we could start with you. Any last words of advice or wisdom that you have for the students listening in today?
I suggest that you need to remain interested. You need to expose yourself to as many things as you can, because that's the only way to understand what you're passionate about. You want to be in the creative field, there is so much, and you need to experiment and explore, understand what you are passionate, because when you understand that, that's when you're gonna perform at the top of your game, and that's what is gonna give you joy and happiness and be fulfilled and really love what you do. Remain interested, and today you have to also remain interested in, like, you know, reading about things like tech is important. You know, maybe not everybody loves it if you're a purely creative person, but you need to read also books about like tech and like business, and like, you know, remain interested in those areas that like apparently are like a little bit distant, but is important for you. Find your passion, remain interested, read, and diversify your interests.
Absolutely, thank you. And Daniela, any last words of advice from you?
Le ultime parole?
Un suggerimento, un consiglio agli studenti per la loro vita, per il loro percorso.
Forse un po' banale, but come si dice? Forse un po' banale.
It might be a little bit obvious, but what I have to say
maybe you have to follow your passion, because I work in Fantini since I'm 58 years old, and I started when I was 20 years. I went to university, but I started to work also in Fantini. So I'm working, it's 40 years, I don't know, 35 years. In my opinion, you can reach a very good position in the company or in your business, following your heart and your passion. Because in my opinion, the passion is more important than the talent. If you have talent and you have not passion, it's difficult. If you have a lot of passion, also if the talents are not very, very huge, it's possible to reach very good position, very good success. And so you have to try to understand which is your real passion, and after to follow this. And I want to wish for you a lot of beautiful success in your life. And I think that maybe we can also meet someone of you, maybe because they are student in design, and our door is open. We love to invite people who works in our world.
That's great. Thank you. Riccardo, Daniela, I want to say a huge thank you for giving us this truly special look at the world of Fantini.
Thank you to you. Thank you to you for giving us this opportunity. It's very, very important for us to try to share our company and our philosophy. Thank you to you.
Thank you. Students, I want to say thank you for joining us today. If you'd like to learn more about Fantini, you can visit fantiniusa.com or their Instagram, Fantini_NA. If you'd like to learn more about The Original Americas, you can visit our website, theoriginalamerica's.com, or our Instagram at TheOriginalUSA. Thank you.